there, I'm Greg.
And I'm Billy.
Together with the FujiGuys.
FujiGuys.
We're going to talk in this video about the top features about the S1500 camera, a great long zoom camera. Billy, it's one of our best-selling cameras. A lot of people these days, like yourselves, have upgraded to a long zoom camera. Congratulations on the S1500. It's the most popular of its kind out there. And it's also got some great features that we'd love to see you start using. So Billy's going to take you through those features. Go ahead, Billy.
Okay, of course, you know, the top feature really of this camera is the long zoom of it being a 12 times optical zoom lens. There's a built-in stabilization on the camera as well, so it makes full advantage and helps you take those shots in terms of getting more steadier shots so that you don't get that blur, of course, with the magnified zoom that you have with the camera. But on top of other features like that, some new features on the S1500 is the SR auto mode, which is it's basically the scene recognition auto mode. It allows the camera to switch from different modes, from say portrait, landscape, night. There's even a backlit portrait mode that detects a face, then it detects that there's backlit in that, and so it actually finds the flash for you. So it's a great little feature to have if you want just a all-in-one, very simple, easy to use camera. From close-up shots to taking just regular landscape shots or portrait shots, you're not pushing any extra buttons to get that perfect picture with it. So that's the SR mode that dials onto the mode dial on the top. What's unique and interesting on this camera is that there's also a panorama mode, and that panorama mode allows you to take 3 shots going either left or right, and it allows you to stitch the image internally in the camera. And actually, you don't do it. The camera does it automatically for you. And I think we have a quick little sample shot of it that we actually did here at the Fuji office.
Just taken right outside the office to graphically describe what Billy was telling you about. And really what that is 3 pictures taken in the camera. And as Billy said, the camera's processor all stitched together right before your very eyes. And this is the result you get. So obviously the parking lot may not be the greatest subject out there, but you think about the Grand Canyon or even a large group picture, things like that. This panoramic feature has endless possibilities. You can even take 3 pictures with one person in all 3 pictures, so it looks like they're standing in 3 different places at once.
Very nice little fancy little feature to have.
So I love it, and everyone who's tried it, I get great feedback.
And the way it works really just quickly is that you take your first shot, it tells you to take the second shot, but instead it gives you a slight overlay ghosting on one side of the image to help you line up the picture. You actually don't have to be perfect. Once you have that done, you take the last shot, and then it tells you it's stitching the picture, and after that's done, you get a high resolution image that you can actually print out on your inkjet printer to get that nice panoramic mode. Now there's also a custom mode feature on this camera, and of course you have a lot of manual features, aperture and shutter priority, but there's also a custom mode for some of you guys who shoot a certain scene all the time, and you know exactly the lighting that's in there. You can change the white balance settings, the exposure compensation, all these little minor settings inside the cameras you can change, and you can actually save that through the custom mode. And so when you go back to that type of situation, you can dial that mode dial right to C, which is the custom mode, and it will remember those modes. When you take that picture, your picture is going to be how you want it to be when you first try to set that camera up for that perfect shot. There's also a nice feature called the Autofocus tracking, and this feature is something that's new with the S1500 versus its older companion, the S1000 of last year. And with the AF tracking, it actually helps the camera to track it, focus not just faces, but actual moving objects in the scene. So if you're taking pictures of kids running around, it's going to help the camera to focus a lot quicker. And to enable that, you would actually go into the menu of the camera. So if you switch the camera on, you turn on the menu button, you go into the focusing mode, and you select it to go into the auto tracking mode. And when you have it down, you lay it down, you move an object in front of it, and I'm doing it right now here, and it will track that object for you. So that's a neat little mode to have.
I think the quintessential example of that is the kids playing soccer.
Absolutely.
It's a great camera for taking pictures of kids playing soccer, but problem with kids is that they don't stand still, particularly when they're playing soccer, and by the time you finally get them framed and take the picture, they may have run out of your focus zone. So that's a great feature. I love it.
Now, during the shooting mode of the camera, there's also this framing mode feature. And the way this works is that it actually does an auto crop for you. So by pushing this framing feature, when you have it live on a shooting mode, it actually crops the image portrait-wise, smaller portraits. It actually does several different styles that you can do, and when you take that picture, it auto crops that image for you on the spot. So that's a nice little mode to have. Going back to soccer, kids playing sports, there's actually this great mode, the continuous shooting mode, that allows you to save the top 15 pictures. And that with this camera, you can actually take pictures about 7.5 frames per second when you're taking your fast action shots. So you just access that through the dial pad on the back. Just pushing down will allow you to set it up to the top 15 mode. I set that up, I push the button, I take a snapshot, and it's firing away. And it's saving those top 15 shots very, very fast. One of those pictures got to have a great shot of maybe your child taking that shot of the goal or whatnot. So
yeah.
So those are some of the top features. Of course, like any other camera, it does have all the functionalities like face detection technology, image stabilization, cool little playback features like slideshow modes and different zooming features that you can do with the camera. But again, these are just some top features I want to recognize with the 1500 that's new. Again, this is a quick little review of the F1500 in terms of feature, Greg.
Well, I think you did a great job, Billy. I think any of our customers that now have an S1500, if they've now learned about some of these top features and play around with those features, their photography is going to improve. I think the more automated some of these cameras get, the more you can focus on things like your composition and working with your subject, whether it's a live subject or a landscape. The average photographer, when you take away some of the things that they have to think about with respect to exposure and focus and things, can really focus on the fun stuff, and that's getting your pictures. So great job, Billy. Until our next video, I'm Greg.
And I'm Billy.
Together with the FujiGuys. Thanks very much. Tune in later.